Alright, man, another blowout in this series. OKC's defense once again bothers the hell out of the Wolves. Also, there's a sponsor in this video, and also, I feel like I didn't say enough how great Halliburton was in the game overall in Game 1 against the Knicks. I know the big shot at the end and many other things took over the convo, but yeah. Anyway, on to this one. Ant was better, besides his threes. Randall was much worse. OKC's defense continues to pressure and cover ground like crazy. They also shot what felt like an unreal percentage from mid-range and free throw line jumpers and floaters in this game. A lot of that SGA, J-Dub, Caruso versus the zone. And you know what? Let's start with SGA, because I feel like a lot of time I go right to the OKC defense. He's kind of doing whatever he wants out there, man. I mean, this dude is making bank shot turnarounds over Dante. He's making step backs over Jaden. He's drawing fouls on Gobert in the pick and roll. He's going at Dante on switches with like empty side actions. He's having these like really low dribbles to freeze Julius Randle for a second after he runs a screen with iHeart. I mean, every type of defender that's in front of him, any type of coverage that's in front of him, he just has a counter or he just makes a tough shot. And if all else fails, he can just find a way to draw a foul. And yes, I mean, I've already done this. I don't want to focus on it too long. Sometimes it just feels like it's a little too easy for him to draw the foul. Sometimes they're totally legit. I still, for the most part, really enjoy watching SGA cook, but okay, if you're a Wolves fan, I know you don't want to hear that. Or if every time he finagles his way into a free throw attempt, you just instantly get really upset about the state of basketball. And hopefully that talk doesn't cloud too much of just how great of a player SGA is. For some people it will. Also, congrats on the MVP. I have no idea why they wait till the conference finals now, but okay. And then we go to J-Dub, where the amount of fadeaway twos or turnaround twos that J-Dub had in this one also felt pretty wild. Some of these are over Nas, some of them are on Nikhil, a couple of them are over Gobert, where Gobert's defense is as you would expect it to be, like he's cutting off the layup, but still there's an opening for the pull-up. And then to go along with this, you've also got little plays of SGA like getting swarmed by, I want to say, like Gobert and Jaden on the baseline, and then he just snakes his way into hitting iHeart for a floater on a bounce pass. Caruso had a number of good mid-range jumpers versus the zone, where he would screen for SGA. Like that felt like an automatic for them versus the zone. And then, Chet was the other one who had the big offensive game, and this just feels like the type of game that you envision with Chet offensively. He was like 1 for 5 from 3, although the 1 3 he had was like a nice trailing 3, or Randall was a little slow to get out to him. But it was just like the way that Chet can just exist and find like backdoor cuts with iHeart screening for him off the ball, or just simple screen actions where he's being aggressive rolling to the basket, or him getting into the middle of the zone on one of the plays where Caruso didn't, and then, J-Dub drove a little bit. You get to Chet, who makes like a floater over Gobert. Before we get back to it, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. There are no NBA games in Boston. So I took a look at Madison Square Garden for Game 2, and those prices are pretty wild. But if I did want to go to this game, or if I wanted to go to Indiana for some of the future games of this series, it's a bit more manageable in Indiana, although it is still a pretty penny. Then I would use SeatGeek, as I have in the past. It's always been a good time. And you can use my code FunkyDiabetic10 for 10% off your next order at SeatGeek, and that is whether you are a new customer or not, no matter how many times you have used SeatGeek in the past. SeatGeek rates deals on a scale of 1 to 10, so look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. You can find my link in the pinned comment of this video, as well as the description, and of course, it's not just for sports, it can be for concerts, music festivals, a whole bunch of things. So one more time, SeatGeek, FunkyDiabetic10, 10% off your next order. Look for the green dots. No matter how many times you used it in the past, use it for a whole bunch of things. It's good stuff, man. I mean, the 2-point percentages from OKC tonight were just crazy. Like, NBA.com has them at 45% at the mid-range, or 47%, my bad. 62% in the paint, not right at the rim, 77% at the rim. Crazy. Now we can go to the Wolves. So I do think the Wolves, it was clear pretty early, they were finding different ways for Ant to attack this defense, right? It felt like there was more empty side actions. It felt like there were some plays where he was on the same side of the floor with Randall posting up, which opened up one drive off the catch for him. You had Gobert setting him an off-ball screen to where he can come up and then attack off the catch as Lou Dort is still running out to him. You have like him and Gobert running re-screens to get Lou Dort fighting around Gobert multiple times in the same play. So there was a bit more of Ant doing like a little more work off the ball or getting into plays better, or just the floor being more spaced around him. He did also have one post-up on Case and Wallace, also clearing one side of the floor for him as well. Now, even then, OKC is still going to find ways to like shade guys on you, but they didn't hard double him on that one particular play. And then it also felt like there were a few more times where he was able to just put his head down and just be an athletic monster and get inside and draw something. So, okay, cool, you got that, but Randall was bad. I kind of forgot he was out there for some stretches, and I would eventually be reminded because either OKC would pull off a really good defensive play of like SGA or Caruso fronting him in the post, and then somebody's trying to make the pass to him, but then the entry pass has to be like a little higher than they'd like it to be, and then maybe SGA or J-Dub or Dort or whoever comes over and steals the pass or it goes out of bounds or whatever. It also felt like Randall just took some bad ones at times. And then you also had plays that were kind of reminiscent of game one, where it's like, one of these empty side actions I'm talking about with Ant, I think he does it with Gobert, and then it's Chet waiting for him at the basket, and then it's Lou Dort trailing him. Could have been a foul. Ant definitely thought it was a foul. Jaden was open in the opposite corner. This was one time where he did not make the pass. Now he had 6 assists, 0 turnovers. I do think there's a world where if the Wolves just convert more stuff, Ant ends up with double-digit assists in this one. Or you have plays where like Ant and Gobert run a screen action, and then, iHeart is high up on the screen, which makes Ant make the pass earlier, of course, and he's passing it to Gobert. And I mean, Gobert doing anything on offense besides an open dunk versus this OKC defense, it's just an adventure between weird layups or just bad passes. And Chet's helping way off of Jaden, and he's able to contest Gobert for a miss. Or you've got plays where Ant does make the skip pass to like Conley right away off of the Gobert screen, but then SGA closes out to Conley goes baseline, and then it's like iHeart has to close out to Jaden in the corner. He does that, but then Lou Dort is still moving after being involved in like the Conley thing for a second, or he's underneath the basket, whatever, and then he switches back onto Jaden. Now Jaden's got to take a tough shot. It's just, there's so many bodies and the way they relocate. I mean, Jaden had a good game overall, don't get me wrong. One other play where, again, it's an Ant Gobert screen, and then like Naz Reid, he makes a kick out to Nikhil, where you think Nikhil's got a window to take an open three, and then just in 1 second, somebody's closing out to him. It's crazy how they keep on doing it. But as I mentioned, Nikhil, he was scoring, especially in that fourth. And so now it's like, okay, so game one, it was Randall went nuts for the first half, but the Wolves role players shot insanely bad from three, and also Ant had like a disappointing game one. Not great, whatever. Game two, Ant is better. They did find some more things for him. The three-point shooting was still not great overall, although Ant and Randall themselves did not shoot well from three in this one. And so now I'm like, well, there are signs here and there of a complete offensive game from the Wolves versus this OKC defense, but you need it in game three. Should also be said at this point, Naz Reid, can you please make a three? He has not made a three in the last 3 playoff games, so that goes back to the last game versus the Warriors. Now, as I do say that, in the last couple of minutes there, if you want to put any stock at all into the Wolves, like, little comeback that was happening there before the Thunder just kind of shut it off, I want to say it was Ant, Naz, Nikhil, Conley, and Jaden. So the floor is more spaced out. You have Jaden and Nikhil there who are both switchable. Of course, Ant is going to pressure the ball. I don't know. Could care about it, could not care about it. Oh, and also, speaking of making threes, Ant, he's taken a good amount of pull-up threes off of screens with Chet or iHeart giving him a bit of a window on these, and he's just not making them right now. So we'll see if the Wolves can figure it out. But look, man, between Dort, J-Dub, Chet, iHeart, Caruso, Wallace, SGA, I mean, I keep saying it, like, this defense is just so damn tough to consistently go at.